Hey, let's give a round of applause to our two panelists, Dr. Jamie Martinez and Dr. Jasna Aliefendic. Here we are. Okay, so Dr. Martinez is the Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction, Van Alstyne. Did I say that right? ISD. Here, not very far away.
That's right, about an hour and a half.
Okay. Oh, that is farther than I thought. All right. And then Dr. Jasna Aliefendic, coordinator from Garland ISD. I think it's more than coordinator, though.
I'm coordinator.
Are you? Of everybody and everything. That's good. That's awesome. And you and I have known each other for so long.
Yes.
We've been on a journey, haven't we?
It's been, I guess, like 10 years or maybe even more.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Forever.
Forever.
But it was very different than when I first started.
Oh, absolutely.
We're in a very different world right now. Like we're in the AI age. I already feel it.
There was even nothing, not and even thought about AI at that point.
Yeah, I should have you hold the mic so it's picking up all the voice. Yeah, at that point. Well, no, we were just worried about all the crazy apps that were coming at us.
Crazy apps and video games and some
one-to-one later.
One-to-one.
Yeah. It's been a wild ride. Now it's getting even wilder. Okay, so let's start out with this, and everybody will love this. What are you most proud of? And I'm talking now in context of everything we talked about today for your district. It doesn't have to be just about you.
Thinking about AI and everything that's happening globally, not just in education, I think that with the fear of unknown is the worst for all of us. So with that comes what Robin was just saying. If I have to one more time explain the cheating because of AI, I will get a heart attack. So I think that is what's causing lots of our teachers and administrators to reject or push backwards a little bit the AI initiative. However, I'm very proud to say that in my district, we have some leaders who are very innovative, very encouraging, and absolutely amazing. So what we have done is we have developed an AI class for an AI course that is part of the program of study for several clusters in CTE, so that our students can learn how to be creators, not just consumers of AI. It was tough. It was tough to creating a class where students will be practicing and learning how to make AI stuff when everybody around them was talking about cheating and, oh my gosh, those kids are learning how to cheat. No, they're not. Cybersecurity kids are not learning how to hack the system. They're learning how to protect the network. So the same thing with AI. It takes some convincing, but this is our second year in a row that we offer that course, and we started with one campus. This year we have two campuses on board with many more sections. We started with one section. Now we have at one campus, I believe, 3 or 4 sections, and the other one has one section. So we are growing, but that's what I'm proud of. I'm proud of not just being consumers. I'm proud of the fact that we are giving our students an opportunity to learn what it is and what to do with what it can be done.
Yes. You've always been a thought leader for as long as I've known you. Thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you
for being my friend.
Yes, it's been super fun. Okay, so Jamie, don't feel left out. You can be my friend now for the next 20 years.
Okay.
I swear to gosh.
Perfect.
Okay, so Jamie, what are you most proud of? And I know you're a smaller but growing district, right?
We are a smaller district, but we are growing rapidly. We opened a new high school last year, and a new elementary school is slated to open this coming fall. A new junior high is in the works. Another elementary school is in the works. And so we are growing pretty quickly. My team and I began this school year a shared gratitude journal. And one of the entries last week talked about how they were grateful for the resilience of educators. And I think that is what I am most proud of in my district. We are beginning this journey in AI, but there's a certain courageousness to educators these days. You have to be brave to be in this system because, as you stated earlier, we get beat up a lot. And that's okay, because I don't know a single one who doesn't get up every day and think, I'm going to go work with kids today. And so I am incredibly grateful for the fact that the educators in my district are resilient and they are willing to learn and they are asking the questions. We are, even though AI is relatively new, I feel like we're behind the 8 ball already. We put in policies and practices and things this summer. And that was in response to my high school teachers last year calling me going, I think they're cheating with AI. What do I do? And I was like, here we go. Okay, here are these conversations. And so we put in some practices and we put in some policies and we worked with our teachers this summer on best practices for themselves and best practices to work with children. And I wasn't sure what kind of response we would get, but my only training room that I have in the district holds 28 people, and we stuffed 47 in the room because they were excited to learn and to kind of see what was available to make their lives easier and to help their kids kind of embrace what's coming. And I told them the kids can do it better than you can already, so we're going to try to catch you up.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Well, this is exciting, right? Just to have that forward-looking view and being one of the only districts in the country that's still growing, right? Rather than losing. It's super exciting. Actually, I met another one when I was down in Houston last, right? It's still growing. Texas is kind of a unique place. Like, I go all over the country, right? But you come to Texas and it's still like lots of kids arriving and being born and things like that. It's awesome. Okay, so that was my first question. Yeah, we know what you're doing here in Texas. I'm just saying. Well, this was fun, but I want to say next is, what was your most interesting takeaway from today? We talked a lot about AI, moving from literacy, which you've already run into, and so have you. Everybody's talking AI literacy, to fluency, human intelligence, what makes us human. We talked a lot about stuff, and we showed off a lot of stuff. Not just AI stuff, but the crafted digital curriculum, which I don't want anyone to let go of, because I watch it and I'm like, animations, you can poke buttons, it's fun, right? Like, it's very different than just text. Like, I don't want the AI world to just arrive in us all text. Okay, so let me go back to my question so you don't forget where I was, or I don't. What were your favorite takeaways? Should we go the opposite way this time? You go second, is that okay? Favorite takeaways. I'm putting you on the spot. Pick up the mic.
Okay.
Here we go.
I think my favorite takeaway of the day was the use of the word orchestration. That we're not going to be using AI as just another tool, that it can actually end up being the tool that we use in the district to make sure that we're not so departmentalized and so compartmentalized that all the pieces are not working together, but that AI can be the sole source that can keep the orchestra all singing the same thing and moving in the same direction. So I really like that term. I wrote that down in my notes, orchestration of the tools rather than a whole bunch of individual ones we're trying to make work together. That was my favorite takeaway today.
Yeah, isn't it fun? I love it too, because I picture it doing, orchestration. Right? It's only one swan, isn't it? Orchestras, they don't get two; they only get one, right? Okay, but orchestration makes it sound like someone's working for you guys, right? It's not like the bottleneck is all at the teacher and the teacher has to do everything, right? Like, it's crazy. All right. Okay. So Jasna, your favorite.
Well, you just stole my thoughts, but I will continue with that. And what I'm mostly impressed is with the orchestration, but also with vendors like Freddie. Thank you so much for thinking and coming up to the point when you are actually putting all of those resources together for us, for teachers, to make their life a little bit easier, to make differentiation easier, to make lesson planning easier, to make scheduling easier, to look at the data and analyze the data without spending like sleepless nights, and away from your kids and away from your family, because that's what our teachers are doing right now. Somebody said teachers work from 8 to 3. Well, no teacher works ever 8 to 3. Teachers work all day, all night, all weekends, all holidays. So you are giving teachers their time back. You're bringing that human factor back to their not just classroom life, but also to their personal life. Without that home and school balance, there is no good teacher, and you are giving teachers that extra time that they can spend with their families and focus more on their family, so that when they come to school, they will be ready because you're giving them that time. Thank you for that orchestration.
Yes. Yes. Go, Freddie. We all like you. Yeah, this is a really big thing to have a realization about, that we're not talking about another tool. Mm-hmm. We're talking about a mind of the enterprise who's helping us know what all the tools are doing and asking them to do things on our behalf. I mean, imagine I have 250 logins as a teacher. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what can I do for this kid? And just wrapping my mind about what's in all those 250 glorious pieces of software, right? Like Kidam was showing today. It was fantastic. But I can't possibly, as a human, remember to the moment everything that's possibly in that versus what I'm supposed to put in the learning management system and my tracking, reporting to district level and all. I can't do it. So if there's a mind that can for me, and it reminds me, oh, by the way, why don't you do this for little Melissa and John, right? Wow. Yeah, we could make humans much more human. I like that. All right, so I want to turn to the audience. Anybody have any big questions we want to throw at them? No bad words, right? No really hard ones. Let's make this simple. But any questions from you guys? Because if you don't have one, I have one more, and then we'll be wrapping up this magnificent moment. Going once, going twice.
I guess, what information from today are you going to bring back to your district?
Jasna, you go first.
Sure.
She asked, I'm just going to repeat so the mic hears, what information are you going to take back to the district? Go ahead.
Most certainly the idea of creating standards for our vendors, because no matter what, we appreciate our vendors, but I've been in education for 29 years. Trust me, vendors are salespersons just like everybody else. You guys are working for yourself. Now, we need to work for ourselves, especially now when the budgets are so tight. We have so many double resources. Listen to us, vendors. Listen to what we need. Give us some time to test your products. Nobody wants to try something that's not be tested. That's where we actually get in trouble, by buying stuff that has not been tested enough. So giving us time to evaluate, even if it's just for a month or two, give us some time to see how it works in real time in a classroom. We'll find the teacher to test the product and stuff like that. But offering purchases, especially now when AI is relatively new, without enough research for us to back up such large purchases, is not going to work. So I appreciate you listening to what we need, but I would also ask you guys to give us some time to try before we buy. We try our shoes, we try our cars before we buy, don't we? But just looking in a window without actually testing it and actually letting teachers explore that, my understanding of what works in the classroom does not have to be the same as the teacher teachers, what teachers are experiencing, because they're with their kids all day, every single day. And I'm there once or twice a week, maybe. So we need to listen to them.
Mm-hmm. True. And just to clarify, we were talking about standards that we're doing with the Omni AI Alliance. We're writing the 26 standards that are needed for AI. As AI comes into education, there are missing standards. There are other standards bodies, right? Technical standards bodies. But with the help of AI, we identified 26 more that are missing. And I think that that's what you're really mentioning, right?
That's actually what is going to be the driving factor in that AI industry that is aiming education as their market.
Yeah.
Having standards, knowing what's requested, what is needed, because nobody has time to spend money on stuff that's not going to be used by majority. We don't have money to buy 5 different math apps just because 5 different teachers like 5 different approaches. So at this point, we need to be very cautious at how we choose the products and what we choose it for. So first, we need, as school districts, we need to identify the need and why we need that particular AI. Robin and I are just close to each other geographically. Our student population is very similar, yet our needs don't have to be always the same, because the products that I already have or she already has don't have to be don't have to be the same. So our needs for the future products in AI might be different. So that's the reason why we need to think about and set up those standards so that we know how to make selection of the right products that will actually benefit our teachers and students.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember the question still, or were you with me?
What I'm taking back to my district.
Yeah,
correct?
there you go. Woo!
Okay.
That was good. This was awesome.
I think the first thing would be looking into your AI class you're offering and exactly what CTE pathways that might fit into, because that may be something that we need to look into at our district, just very concretely. But then a little less concrete, just the idea of what is possible. I think there's not a single educator in Texas and possibly the country that doesn't understand that there is an issue in public education, that we are falling behind and there's public issues with public trust. And I think the idea that there are possibilities beyond the status quo, there are some possibilities out there that go above and beyond what we've done for the last 150 years. And really having some concrete things we can go back and talk to our stakeholders about. That's exciting. And so I think just the idea of what's possible. We all know change needs to occur. Nobody ever has the time to sit down and think it through. And so that's why I think things like today are important. It kind of forces you to slow down and get off your own laptop and listen to what other people are doing and what ideas are out there and what's actually possible and what's already available.
Yeah. Yeah, that was well said. Wasn't that really great? Well, this has been super fun. Thank you for being with me today. You guys were a very productive table. I could see you over there, your district. And Jasna, thank you so much for being here and being my friend all these years, my new friend for the next 20 years. Well, this has been great. Let's give them a big round of applause. It's been an awesome discussion. Thank you very much.